Welcome to Bible Chat. Today I want to sit with a simple command from Jesus under the theme to begin again. The command is one that sounds straightforward until you realize how much it asks of us. Rise, take up thy bed and walk. It was spoken to a man whose life had been shaped by limitation for decades, and it echoes into every life marred by grief or loss or irreversible change. This is a reflection on what it means to begin again, not by pretending the past didn't happen, but by learning how to carry it differently by grace. John 5:8 records Jesus saying, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk. The lame man knew how to do two things well. Be lame. In truth, he knew two things. He knew how to be lame, and he knew how to beg for alms. His life was about to change. Through the power of God and the love of Jesus, he was about to learn how to do three things: rise, take up his bed, walk. Louise Fletcher Tarkington was the wife of playwright and novelist Booth Tarkington. They were married in 1902 and had a daughter, Laurel. In 1906, Booth struggled with alcoholism and the marriage ended in divorce in 1911. Later, Laurel developed a severe mental illness and died of pneumonia at the age of 16. Louise herself died in 1923, about a year after her daughter's death. By any human reckoning, Louise's life was marked by grief and loss. We don't know the inner contours of her spiritual journey, only fragments preserved in public record and most enduringly in a poem she left behind. That poem has outlived her sorrows and in many ways given them voice. The first verse reads, I wish that there were some wonderful place called the land of beginning again, where all our mistakes and all our heartaches and all of our selfish grief could be dropped like a shabby old coat by the door and never put on again. Near the end, she writes, For what had been hardest we'd known had been best, and what had seemed lost would be a gain. For there isn't a sitting that will not take wing when we faced it and laughed it away. And I think that the laughter is most what we're after in the land of beginning again. In her words, we glimpse a woman who through grace had won, had learned something of what it means to rise, to take up what cannot simply be discarded, and to walk forward. Like the man at the pool, she could not return to who she had been, but she could, by grace, begin again. Beginning again does not mean starting over. It does not erase memory or undo loss. It does not pretend that pain never mattered. Beginning again is obedience. It is responding to grace where you are. It is the reflection that resonates with you. You'll find a written version and companion resources in Substack, and you're welcome to read, listen, subscribe, and walk at your own pace. But remember this: grace is patient, and so is formation.